We're now continuing on page 30, duplicate and distribute, and we're going to take what we've learnt and apply it to creating this amplifier. So I need you to select both of these, pop them up there. Now with this one, we'll pop that in the middle, say around about there, and make sure you select everything here because it's not grouped together or anything. Put it straight underneath, and then we'll select them both and increase the size. And then taking our zoom tool, we'll zoom right in on just those two so we can put our skills into play. Now if you like, select those, that one and delete that, pop it out the way so we've got no distractions. Now the reason I've done it like this is so that of course we have an original to look at, but then we have all of the pieces that I've created for you already that you need to align in as similar manner as possible. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of this, but not all of it, because I really do want you to have to, well, kind of pass a test here if you like. Let me guide you. What are some of the things we've learnt so far? Well, how about guidelines? We've learnt a bit about guidelines. Just drag on the ruler, and I would take a guideline and I'd pop it right there. And I'd take another guideline and I'd pop it over there, and at least that will help me there. I might grab another guideline and put it on the edge there so that I can line up that silver edge, and maybe another guideline and I'd run it where those dots are. Maybe even another one. I think you've got the idea. All right. So I would use lots of guidelines. I'm going to remove a couple of those. You're going to have to create some duplicates. So I'm going to quickly do some of this for you and fly through it very quickly because I really do want you to work this out. So here we go. Well, first of all, I'm going to take that silver bit there. I might grab that guideline and just line it up there. Pop that right on the edge. Then I'm going to select the black one, finger on shift. Now remember, the last object you select, which in this case would be that silver frame, is the object to align to. I'm going to select E on my keyboard and then C on my keyboard, and that aligns that together perfectly. All right, now I'll grab that one there and just pop it there manually for the moment. And that one, I'll pop that over there for the moment. I'll use some guidelines to maybe set it up in a minute. There's another one right there. Now, it looks like I'm going to have to go ahead and make one of these. Look, you could cheat and create a duplicate of these two. However, I'd like for you to maybe be a little bit more creative and try to actually create one yourself out of what you can see here. All right. So what I'm going to do is, in fact, zoom in a little bit more. Grab the darkest colors and order them like that. Hopefully I'll get the order right. That one there maybe. Then that one. And what do you think? Does that look about right? Maybe that one there and that one there. I think that's about right. Now, once I've got all of those, what I'm interested in is aligning the top one and the bottom one with those. So my options are to pull down a guideline, or I could just manually pop that there like that, or what's the other way? Finger on shift and select that object, and then B for bottom. That easy. Now remember, select that object, finger on shift, select that one, T for top. So now I know that that's aligned with that one and that's aligned with that one. So remember, you've got to click on the white area, draw your marquee around all of that, and now I just want to align center. And now I'm going to have to bring up my alignment dialog box, go to distribute, and I need to do spacing. Okay, vertical spacing. Click apply, and there we go. I've created one. Click close. Now we've not talked about grouping very much, and you might want to group a little bit while doing this. It really is just that option there on the property bar, or if you like, right click when you've got a number selected and simply choose group. It's now grouped together, so I can place that there. Now F3, I'll just zoom back out a little bit and up. Now you may always want to just zoom in as tight as you possibly can to help you work this out. Now if you use different zoom levels, just remember that it kind of looks different at a distance to what it does up close. So try to always zoom in similarly to a similar area. Okay, well this time I'm going to create another duplicate, plus on my keyboard, finger on control, and I'm going to pop that there like that. And there we go. Now if I use a guideline and line that one up, that looks about right. Now I'll line up with that one there. There we go, so no, that's aligned. So pop that out of the way. So all I need to do is select all of those. B for bottom, so they're aligned perfectly across the bottom, and I just need to space them. So again, back to distribute and spacing, click apply, and there we go. That's done that, and that looks about right. Now remember, you can pause this movie at any time. Now we need to do the same with all of these pieces of text, so I'll use my guideline, pop that there. Now, preset at the top, and it'll snap to the, make sure you've got up here, you've got snap to guidelines turned on. We've learnt a lot, and we're putting it all to practice here, so this is going to be a bit of a test for you. And snap that to there. The next one is mute, and then bass boost, and then surround. It's so good being able to snap to the edge of that guideline. EQ goes in the middle there. Now I think surround is aligned with the bottom there of the green, as we can see. Can you see that I haven't actually perfectly taken these and centered it to the black area? So the spacing at the bottom and the spacing at the top is even, but mine's actually a little bit out. So what I'm going to do is just do it with one, finger on shift and select the black background, and then E on my keyboard. That's better. Now what I'll do is I'll select all of those, and then finger on shift, select the last object, and B for bottom, and that will space them. So I align the rest to the bottom there. Now, B for bottom, select that one, T for top. Now select all of those, and we're going to do spacing again. Now here's an interesting thing. Whenever you deal with text, it doesn't automatically come up there, the align and distribute dialog box. So we have to go to arrange, come down to align and distribute, and select it. Now what you could do, of course, is leave it up on your screen all the time. It might pay for me to actually do that. Again, distribute, spacing, and apply. So now they're perfectly spaced. Okay. Now you'll notice that I did have some other object colors here, and that was to create this one here, but I cheated by creating a duplicate there. It's up to you. I've shown you both ways, so you could go ahead and try to create it or do what I did. Now we've got two lots of colors, green and red. So what I might do is, again, grab my guideline, pop it there. I'll just align that one to there. Now I need a duplicate, so plus on my keyboard, finger on control, I'll just manually align that to there, and then control D, and I'll do that all the way up. And as you can see, my alignment wasn't perfect. Pull it back down to there. I'll delete that one because I'm going to put this red one in there. Now here's what's important. Again, I'll align that one, finger on shift, that object, E for center, that one, that object, E for center. Now I need to select all of those, spacing, click apply, and they're evenly spaced. Finally, we'll take our word cinema. Oh, in fact, we didn't actually have a color there, did we? And I'll just align that to the edge. Finger on shift, B for bottom, and there we go. Move that out the way like that. So I might pop that one there. Again, needing to do some alignment. Do I want to align center or to the edge? To the edge is easier in some ways. Now here's the interesting thing. I want to grab all of those objects there and probably pop them over here out the way. So plus on my keyboard. I've already got a guideline on the other side, sorry. I'll pop that one right on the edge. Finger on control, snap to there. Finger on shift, select them both. Plus on my keyboard. Finger on control so that they drag down perfectly. Drag, then finger on control, and place that there. Now here's the interesting thing. I want to grab all four objects, right? And I want to group them together first of all. Right click and group. The reason I've done this is so that I can select, finger on shift, select the background, and now hit E and then C. So now all four as a group are perfectly centered to that background. Now you can see they don't align perfectly with my guidelines. Look, that's kind of okay. It doesn't really matter. I can maybe select that and tap back over a little bit to realign, because there's a bit of a shadow effect there, and I'm not going to go into detail, but basically you do what you feel is right. But the important thing now is we need to right click and choose ungroup from the menu. So now we've got individual objects. Why? We see these little black lines that we've got here. I want to be able to line them center to the actual nut that you can see there. So again, bring over a guideline, pop that there, finger on shift and then E. And in fact, I'll just close that down. Click and learn actually goes there, doesn't it? So we'll pop that over there. See, now I want you to know I haven't practiced this. I'm just doing it on the fly, and that's why I'm making odd little mistakes as I go. So we'll lock that to there. Finger on shift and then E to align it to the horizontal center of that nut. Same thing, we'll pop that there. By eye, line the C up with the edge there. And again, E, that's good. Need a duplicate, plus on my keyboard. That will need to come down to there, and I need to stretch it out all the way along. I can do that by eye, or again I could pull over another guideline if I wanted to. Now, that one there. And C on my keyboard to center a line. Select the line, the background, and tap C. And that aligns that perfectly centered to the background, which should be perfectly centered between the two nuts. So it's a matter of how you think, really, isn't it? Plus on my keyboard, finger on control, and then select my object, finger on shift, and then C. And that just aligns that to there. And we're slowly getting there, aren't we? So there's 1, 5, 6, 2, 4 is there, 3 is there. So what's important is where our numbers align top and bottom, and they're kind of aligning with the bottom of the black, aren't they? So we'll need another guideline for that. So right there and right there. And if we want to align perfectly, we'd put that there. So grab 1, snap it right there, grab 6, snap it there, and that's all we're interested in. We're not interested in anything else, because once we select those and then come up to align and distribute, no, we don't want horizontal, we want vertical. In fact, that's fine. Spacing, click apply. Now all we need to do is left align. So left align, click apply. Did we actually space those then? I don't think we did. Spacing, click apply. There we go. And look at that. We now have perfectly spaced numbers. And finally, what we've got here is a conglomeration of bits and pieces. Well, I simply would select all of that to start with and then just go E and C on my keyboard. And my goodness, look at that. It all just comes together. So there we go. What doesn't look right about that is, of course, this white area has been centered to the black area underneath, which is not quite right. So select that, finger on shift, select the grey, and then E and C. And that's still not working. Now, whenever things don't work, you need to zoom in and you need to try to figure out why. So let's just pull that apart. Okay. Those two objects have been grouped together. Now, therefore, the white area on top is trying to center to the combination of the two objects. So my options are to ungroup it. So right click, ungroup, select that, finger on shift, then E and C. Now it aligns perfectly. I might do the same thing with that back piece, just in case. Finger on shift, select the white, E and C. Yes, it did move. Same with that one there. On there, E and C. And now we've got a quality alignment. This shadowed area is there for effect. Now if you want to move it around with your arrow keys just a little to get what you think's suitable, and that does look good to me, F4 zoom out, and we've got a perfectly aligned amplifier. The shadow is a bit deeper up there than it is down there. So I think you've got a little bit of work to do, but this lesson is tremendous at developing this skill that you just have to have. In our next lesson, we're going to use all of this and finish off our business card, which will be a lot more simple.